What's up, everybody? It's Ryan from Roll to Hit, and I am going to be doing a new video series. I'm running this adventure, Tomb of Annihilation, with my online group at StartPlaying.Games, and I gotta tell you, it is an absolute blast. And so, what I thought I'd do, one of the first things I did when knew I was going to run this adventure is I went out to YouTube. DM tips for running Tomb of Annihilation. There's some good stuff out there, some good ideas. And I thought, you know what? I will contribute. And so if you're a dungeon master and you're getting ready to run Tomb of Annihilation, hopefully this series will help. That said, this is not for players. So if you're going to play in Tomb of Annihilation, especially if you're in my group, please go out and watch some of the other videos. There will be spoilers, big time, in this entire series. So for Dungeon Master's eyes only, you have been warned. For players, go enjoy some of my other videos on character creation or things like that. So anyways, the spoiler alert is in. It's in play. This is public. This is the product information here on Wizards of the Coast's website, and you can see here that there is a certain character on the cover who is a famous D&D villain from decades back. I won't name him just yet, just in case there's still some stragglers. But yeah, this is sort of a throwback, an homage to Tomb of Horrors. So this is the setup for Tomb of Annihilation. So this video is just going to be kind of the intro and the setup. So this was released in 2017. It's been out there for a while. It's in a whole different area of Faerun called Chult. It's a jungle. And there's lots of crazy new monsters in jungles, including some from our world. There's dinosaurs down there. So really cool, lots of environmental effects, heat, humidity, monsoons, insects, problems with water, etc. So there's a lot of wilderness environmental effects in this adventure as well. You can see here that Chris Perkins was one of the designers. He's got some good interviews out there on YouTube for kind of talking about this adventure when they put it together. It is a tough one. It is a tough adventure for your players. The underlying theme here is that a death curse has been placed upon all of Faerun. And basically that means that anyone who has been raised from the dead in the past is now withering away and dying. And anyone who is needing to be raised from the dead, those spells aren't working. So this is big. The adventure starts with everyone understanding that, and it also gives you a pretty good hook for your players that you actually start in Baldur's Gate and then transition quite quickly by meeting a retired adventurer in Baldur's Gate named Sindra Sylvain, who is herself suffering from the death curse. Sindra accumulates the group and then kind of gives you her information. She actually has a map that she has compiled through her sources that this is the player map that the players will get. That kind of gives you a sense, at least as the Dungeon Master as well, of all of these hexes that are yet to be explored. So everything that is known about Chult is basically around the shoreline. And you meet her in Baldur's Gate, and she has a teleportation spell, so you don't have to commute all the way from Baldur's Gate down to Chult. She'll teleport you into this town here, Port Nyanzaru. And so the adventure will actually start in Baldur's Gate, get the adventure hook going there, and quite quickly you'll be in Chult here at Port Nyanzaru with all the player characters. So I kind of followed the book pretty closely on that. I let them meet Sindra Sylvain in Baldur's Gate. She gave them the intel that she had gathered. Kind of read that from the book. So I've got the book right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So I'll kind of talk through a little bit about that. She kind of gives them some snippets, things like She was an adventurer years ago. She died once, was raised, so she's actually closed the door on that stage in her life. She is struck by the death curse. She divulges that. She has contact with the Harpers, which is one of the groups in the Forgotten Realms, and she has learned through her contacts that the cause of the death curse is actually a necromantic artifact called the Soulmonger. So this is all information everybody gets right out of the gate. And according to their sources, the Soulmonger is somewhere here in Chult. So somewhere in all of these hexes. Finally, she divulges that she knows that Chult is this peninsula ringed with mountains, choked with rainforests, enormous reptiles, goblins, armies of undead, prowl its jungles. Mapping the place has always been nigh impossible, and nothing is known about the region's current geography beyond a few miles from the coast. A couple other tidbits. Working from dozens of sea charts, logbooks, etc. This is the map that she's been able to assemble. And when you're ready to depart, she will teleport the group all to Port Nyanzaru, which is really the major settlement, the only major settlement in the entire peninsula. She's going to be staying with a friend, one of the city denizens named Wakanga Otomu, and he's one of the 7 merchant princes who rule the city. That's all before you even get to chapter 1. So you're meeting Syndra, you're finding out a lot already. There's a soulmonger you're looking for, there's a death curse, Chult is full of undead and exotic creatures that are deadly. And then you can give your players this map that I'm showing here on the screen. It is the player's map of Chult. You can teleport in. The book actually gives you some character hooks specifically for your players should they want to do something a little bit different. But I let my players kind of come up with their own hooks. And then you are in Port Nyanzaru, and I'll show this map as well. So this is Port Nyanzaru. The players teleport here to the harbor master's office, or right around here. And I'll pick up with the next video more about kind of how you get started in Port Nyanzaru, or how we got started in Port Nyanzaru, to give you some ideas. There's some NPCs in the book. I also kind of created a bunch on the fly. This is a bustling city. And so I'll pick that up in the next video with sort of the intro to chapter 1, getting settled, getting started in Port Nyanzaru. Things that have worked well for me, kind of what I think, at least so far, my players have been focused on while they've been in Port Nyanzaru, in terms of, what do they need? What do they really need? They need money, and so there's lots of opportunity in this merchant city for making money, for getting gold, because they'll need that to hire guides, to buy supplies that they need for the jungle that are maybe specialized. And there's lots of interesting, unique ways there's some side hooks or some side quests in the book for potentially making money, but there's some other ideas too that I've ran with that have been really fun. So I'll share those in the next video. With that, hope you enjoyed Dungeon Masters again, this series on Tomb of Annihilation. I'm running about 3 weeks, I think, into this campaign. It's going to be a long campaign, and so I'm going to be doing these little kind of snapshot summary, kind of what worked, what didn't work, what was a lot of fun, just planting these ideas for anybody who's going to be running this. There'll be 3 weeks in arrears as I kind of record the videos and contemplate how things went, do my own sort of retrospectives, and then I'll come back and upload and fill you guys in. So looking forward to talking to you next time. Have a good one.